Hey, Chris here, fitness minimalist. I'm going to show you how to do a kettlebell deadlift. So there's other variations of kettlebell deadlifts, but for this particular variation, it's going to be more of a sumo stance. The kettlebell is going to be in between my feet, not in front of my toes, pretty much in front of my ankles, at least within that footprint, so it's landing right underneath you. You want that kettlebell to sort of track up and down straight, just like gravity, we're pulling it back down to the earth. This is the precursor to the kettlebell swing. You want to be really proficient with the deadlift before you start to attempt swings, even just a two-hand swing, because it's really going to teach you the proper mechanics for the hip hinge. And the deadlift is just a slower version of a swing. It's the same biomechanical movement, it's a hinge. So kettlebell with the handle in between my ankles, I'm going to shoot my hips back, so if I'm in a very extended position with my knees and hips fully extended, my glutes are turned on, my core is nice and tight before I've even touched the kettlebell, and the first joint that I want to bend is my hips. I'm actually going to push my butt back a little bit first. I want to minimize the amount of knee bend that I use. I'm going to need a little bit just to get down to the kettlebell, but I don't want to use too much. I want to feel a bit of a pull on the hamstrings, and I want to be using glutes and hamstrings primarily. I want to make contact with the inside of my knees and my forearms. That way I know that every time I put the kettlebell back down, it's going down in the exact same place. Okay, so you're using your own body as a bit of a landmark. I'm going to crush the handle and I'm almost going to pull it apart. That's going to help me keep my lats nice and tight and my armpits tight. And right now I'm in a very active position. If I held this for long enough, I would start to shake. In fact, I'm starting to shake now. So you want to be very active in this position. You want to start to lift the weight off the ground without physically lifting it off. You just want to start to take the weight of that kettlebell onto your frame. So now if I have this kettlebell sitting on top of a bathroom scale, it's going to register 0 because I've got all the weight on my frame, even though the bottom of the kettlebell is still touching the ground. From here I'm going to stand straight up, pushing my feet into the ground. I'm going to come back up to that fully extended position, keeping my armpits tight, keeping my glutes tight, and my core tight. And I'm going to put the kettlebell back down the exact same way, making sure I landmark forearms into thighs. Okay? So if I'm doing multiple repetitions, I never take that weight, that load off my frame. I keep everything packed nice and tight, and I simply just touch back down, but that bathroom scale never registers a pound.